Hey guys, here to explain to you the next part of music theory. The first thing we're going to talk about today is meter. And meter is that grouping of the beat. The beat is the steady underlying pulse in all of music, and the meter is the cycle or the pattern of strong and weak beats. We usually feel and hear the meter in groups of beats, like we hear a strong beat every two, like 1, 2, or maybe instead we feel a strong beat every three, like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. It's that pattern of grouping of that meter. Where does that strong beat come back around? When we talk about meter, we're ready to talk about the symbol back there on the board, the time signature. It looks like it could be a fraction, but it's not. It's just two numbers, one on top of the other. The top number tells us about the meter. In 4/4 time, the meter is that beat experienced in groups of four. The top number could be just about any number we want. The bottom number doesn't tell us about the meter. It tells us about how we are going to be able to count the rhythm. We can only do that if we know which kind of note is equal to one of those beats. And the best way to do that is to take a look at that top number. If I know I have to divide, my entire meter is divided into four beats, and I take a look and I think, okay, well, I have a whole note. A whole note would normally be an entire grouping of the beat. If I'm dividing that into four, down here, I know that the quarter note is what divides the whole note into four. That four on the bottom tells me that in 4/4 time, the bottom four tells us that the quarter note is going to be equal to one beat or count. Now, remember, when we're taking a look at the time signature, 1 meter fits into each measure. If it's 4/4 time, you can't have more than four beats in that measure. If it's 3/4 time, you can only have three beats. The four on the bottom in either of those cases tells us that we're dividing the whole, everything that would fit into that measure, one entire grouping of the beat, we're dividing it into four. You can only do that if you use quarter notes. So that four on the bottom says that one beat is equal to a quarter note. Now, you can have time signatures that don't have a four on the bottom. If I instead had a time signature of 2/2, the meter would be, we're hearing the beat in groups of two. 1, 2. That's the number of beats that will be in each measure. We're going to know how to count it by looking at the two on the bottom. If a whole note would be the whole grouping of the beat, and we're going to divide it into two, you can only divide a whole note into two using half notes. So the half note is equal to one count when the two is on the bottom. That changes what a quarter note is worth and changes what a whole note is worth. That way, we know how to put notes in different rhythms in a measure and how we can be able to count them. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Everybody seems to remember that the number of beats in each measure is the top number, but they always have a really hard time with the bottom number. So make sure you understand that as you take a look at trying to fill out those empty measures in your theory worksheet. Good luck.